Two. Okay.
All right, Madam Chair. Which one would you like to do first? In order?
Well, we'll go in numerical order. So 887.
887, item 2, natural gas storage wells.
Yes, thank you very much. And I'm sure this committee is very well aware that back in October 23rd, there was a catastrophic leak failure in a large storage reservoir in Porter Ranch, and that's part of my district. It went on for 4 months. The well, out of the 115 wells on site, has been permanently closed and killed. 5,000 households moved out. Many of them have not moved back yet. They're concerned that there's not enough safety precautions put in place to minimize the risk that this might happen again. 2 schools were relocated. Businesses were disrupted, many of them losing a lot of their sales. I should point out that there is no opposition to this bill at the moment. 7 state agencies have been involved. My office has been very much engaged in coordinating communication between those agencies and providing information on a daily basis to the residents that were affected. And I'd like to commend my staff for really doing a good job in regards to that, as well as the governor's office. They did an amazing job. We're also concerned about the 100,000 metric tons of methane that's been released, one of the most potent greenhouse gas emissions, and a short-lived climate pollutant. It's 20% of the state's total. We cannot allow a leak like this to ever happen again. It affected not only the people of Porter Ranch, but it affects potential energy-related issues for 12 million people who live in LA County. Senate Bill 887 seeks to set a new minimum standards for natural gas storage wells statewide. Out of 50,000 wells in the underground control program, 400 of them are natural gas wells. We need to be more proactive to try to prevent leaks. Many of these safeguards had not been in place, and Dogger and others are the first to admit they need to go back and look at these, and they're doing just that. I've been actually very impressed with the response by Dogger in realizing that these were outdated. We're now allowing, much to my surprise, homes to be put adjacent to producing oil and gas fields. So, and I am concerned that Southern California Gas, unless they do everything possible, they're going to be putting energy reliability concerns at risk for the greater Southern California area. They've got to do all they should. So Aliso Canyon leak has shed a regulatory light, especially as it impacts neighboring homeowners. So let's look at some of the potential safeguards, and this bill is obviously a work in progress, and we'll be working with some of the concerns that people have expressed. We'll focus on issues like requiring immediate leak notification or annually inspecting wells. What should the setbacks be from people's homes? When should safety valves be put in place? Should gas injections be limited to just the tubing and not the entire well casing? I'll admit to you, this is a bill that's a work in progress. We want to get the details right. We're looking forward to working with the administration. Our staff, as always, has an open door policy. We'll be having an oversight hearing in just a few weeks, which will be critically important to having this discussion and addressing these issues, and that'll come at the end of this month. This bill is double referred to EQ, so those amendments and things will be taken by the time we hear it. We do know, however, we can't go back to business as usual. We've learned a lot since that leak. We want to make sure, minimize any risks we can to the residents who are still asking my office, is it safe enough to move back home? So with me in support of this measure is Barry Broad is here to support the bill. Is Brianna here? She is not here. So this bill, again, is dual referred. Ask for your aye vote. Mr. Broad.
All right.
Madam Chair and members, Barry Broad on behalf of the Utility Workers Union of America. Our members work at Aliso Canyon. and the other gas storage facilities. And we actually have produced a position paper on this, which I'm happy to share with any of you, which we've shared widely in the Capitol. We brought our people up here who are the technical people who are there and were there when this happened. We're sort of conceptually in support of the bill. We obviously agree that it's a work in progress, and there are very specific and serious issues that have to be dealt with as the bill moves along, so that we do this right. In the main, the big problem is there's been a diminution of the safety culture of Southern California Gas, as there was in Northern California with PG&E before San Bruno. Since San Bruno, we believe, and I think the other utility unions believe, that PG&E has sort of turned the corner on that safety culture and gone back to what we used to have in the gas industry, which was a very strong preventative safety culture. And that's what we need, and that's primarily what the problem is here. In terms of this bill, the amendments that have gone into this bill have gone a long way towards what needs to be done, which is that that there needs to be, in our members' view, an individual assessment of each well and a determination based on that individual assessment of what maintenance schedule needs to be in place for re-inspecting the inner and outer casing. So for those of you who don't know, these wells are basically a metal pipe within a metal pipe. And the inner pipe was being inspected annually. But the technology used to inspect the inner pipe could detect a gross leak in the outer pipe, but not thinner walls or any of that, so that the outer casing also needs to be inspected on a regular basis. And that's imperative, and not just once, but for the life of the well. On the other hand, there are some things in the bill that we think need some work on. Our people feel very strongly that the age of the pipe is not necessarily automatically a determination of the shape of the well. That some of the oldest pipes in Southern California that were put in the 1920s are in better shape than pipe in the 1970s and may not be the first to be replaced. They may be later on the list when an individual examination is done. With regard to valves in the pipes, sounds like a very sensible solution. Put a valve in to stop the leaks. From a technical perspective, these are gas injection wells. Gas goes in and gas comes out. According to our people, most of these valves are one-way valves designed for oil, not natural gas. And so it's possible that if that valve fails at 8,000 feet, and if that had been the situation at the well in Aliso Canyon, the problem would have been many times worse than it was without the valve. So they have to be specifically designed for gas wells to go both directions. Because to kill the leak, you have to get water below that valve. So these are issues that we'll be working on with the senator to make sure that we all get it right, because we want to get it right. So we urge an aye vote. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Further witnesses in support? Come forward.
Good morning, Matt Klopfenstein on behalf of the South Coast Air Quality Management District in support of the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, please.
Good morning, Victoria Rome with the Natural Resources Defense Council, also in support. Thank you.
Diana Vasquez, Sierra Copa, California, also in support.
Eric Bakke with the Los Angeles Unified School District, as well as on behalf of Board Member Schmierson, in support.
Bill Alio, Environmental Working Group, in support. We were inadvertently left off the group letters, so we should be on the analysis. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Witnesses in opposition. Witnesses in opposition. Seeing none. Somebody's coming forward. Neutral, witnesses in neutral, come
Yes.
forward.
And as they come
Yes,
up, and I
witnesses with
appreciate,
consent.
I had a meeting with them. These are relating to independent gas storage providers. it may be a difference than Aliso Canyon and some of the more urban area settings. I had a meeting with them yesterday. We're going to continue to work on those potential unique differences and how this bill will or will not affect them.
I appreciate
So I
that,
appreciate
Sarah.
them being neutral, and so the communication has already begun, and my staff will be working closely with them.
I was going to compliment you and your staff on the amount of time that they're spending with those that have technical
Yes, right,
concerns. I
right.
appreciate that. Sir, neutral.
Richard Hyde, Managing Director of External Affairs for AGL Resources. We own Central Valley Gas Storage in Colusa County. As the chair was speaking of, we're one of the independent storage operators. Very much appreciated working with the senator and her staff, and look forward to continue that. We are neutral. We do have some concerns with the bill. We are located in rural areas. We also, our wells are designed specifically for storage of natural gas. We don't have any oil and gas production in the areas that we look at. Our wells were drilled from 1999 to 2012, so they're newer. The technology we have is designed specifically for the wells that we have, and we look forward to continue to working with the senator and staff on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I believe there was someone else come forward.
Yeah, David Weber, I'm the president and CEO of Gill Ranch Storage LLC. We're the owner and operator of Gill Ranch Storage, which is in Fresno, Madera counties. Echo everything that Richard said, especially appreciate the collaborative effort with the staff to work on this bill. We believe in safety. One of the speakers mentioned safety culture. That is a core part of our business and our parent at Northwest Natural. And we are very interested in effective safety measures can be put in place. So I can't really add much to what Richard said, but we are different. We're in our geography, our geology, and our geophysics are different, and we like to have those taken into account as we look through the bill.
Okay, thank you. Further comment? All right, how about the committee? Any comments or a motion? All right, it's been moved by Senator Jackson. The motion, I believe, is due pass to appropriations. Oh, all right, there we go.
Because of the methane
Got it.
related
Indeed.
air
Due
quality.
pass to EQ. Would you like to close?
Just very briefly, thank you very much. You can see there'll be a lot of discussion. This bill facilitates specific measures we will be taking regarding natural gas reservoirs and wells in particular to assure the health and safety of particularly the residents who live not only next to this facility, but in the broader region, because we're all impacted when facilities aren't operating safely enough. I want to thank Barry Broad and the people that work daily out in the fields there for their insightful information, and I look forward to working with the independent producers of natural gas in other parts of the state. Ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. It is due pass to environmental quality. Please call the roll.
Senators Pavley.
Aye.
Pavley, aye. Stone. Allen. Allen, aye. Hertzberg. Hueso. Jackson. Jackson, aye. Monning. Vidak. Vidak, no. Wolk.
Aye.
Wolk, aye. It has 4 votes.
That has 4 votes. It needs another. The roll remains
Do we
open.
have an author behind me yet? Okay, moving
No,
on.
we don't. So we're on to item 4, Madam Chair.
Yes, this is Senate Bill 995. It's on well standards. And looking over here, there is no opposition to this measure, so I'll be relatively brief. It came to our attention that the last time well standards were updated was 1990. It's been a long time. Technologies have changed. They're out of date. Department of Water Resources recognizes they're out of date. This is to put together some measures to ensure that water wells must be properly built. They have to be maintained and destroyed when they're no longer used to prevent contamination of our groundwater. It is about the groundwater. That's why this bill is sponsored by the California Groundwater Association. I want to share with you, the Groundwater Association isn't just a group of environmental leaders. No, it's actually the well drillers, the pump contractors, the engineers, and the hydrologists. Also in your packet, you can see entities like the Santa Clara Water District and East Bay Municipal Utility District. Other water quality advocates are also in support of this measure. So I have with me today 2 witnesses.
All right, welcome. Who's first?
Madam Chairman, members, Pete Conity representing the California Groundwater Association. We want to thank the author for carrying this legislation that's been needed. And also, we think the analysis just lays it out perfectly. It's something that's overdue and needs to be done, especially as we continue to work on our groundwater issues, that we have the most up-to-date well drilling standards in the nation. So thank you very much.
In support? Well,
Madam Chair, Justin Malone for the local environmental health directors. We are the folks that frequently inspect those wells. We agree wholeheartedly with the former speaker, and that is they're outdated, they need to be updated, and we need to protect groundwater, particularly with the groundwater legislation passed last year. Thank you.
thank you. In support?
Marlene Dumaine with the East Bay Municipal Utility District in support.
Diana Vasquez, Sierra Club, California, also in support.
All right, thank you. Further support?
Victoria Rome with NRDC in support.
All right, you further support?
Good morning, Tim Kozelka on behalf of Community Water Center and Clean Water Action. We pledge our support.
All right, further support? Opposition? All right, seeing none, comments from the committee or a motion? All right, it's been moved by Senator Jackson. That is due pass to environmental quality. Would you like to close?
Thank you for your support of this measure. DWR is continuing to work in this regard. It's time to update these wells to make sure that we don't contaminate our groundwater. Ask for your aye vote.
All right, the motion is due pass to environmental quality. Please call the roll.
Senators Pavley?
Aye.
Pavley, aye. Stone? Allen? Allen, aye. Hertzberg? Hueso? Jackson? Jackson, aye. Monning? Vidak? Vidak, aye. Wilk?
Aye.
Wilk, aye. That has 5, but we'll put it all.
That has 5, and it remains on call. Will be put on call.
All right.
All right, still no author. SB 1089, Fran?
1089.
Item 8.
Yes. Most of you probably know about the Wildlife Conservation Board. It's an entity that's actually been very effective in major projects around the state relating to habitat protection or watersheds or things like that. What you may not know, there's only 3 voting members who are on the board. All appointments of the administration. One is the Department of Finance, and this bill then would put into statute the ability for the Director of Finance to appoint an alternate if they're not able to attend. They've been having quorum problems. Also on the board, here's the 3 people: Department of Finance, the President of the Fish and Wildlife Commission, and the Director of the department. So 2 from Fish and Wildlife, 1 Finance. This bill, as written now, has 2 suggestions. One, it allows the Director of Finance to appoint a designee to assure we get a quorum. And number 2, the bill allows for the appointment of 2 public members. The discussion will be with the administration and the Senate and the Assembly is how should they be chosen? Should they be more administrative appointments? Should it be 1 from the Senate and 1 from the Assembly? Should they have qualifications or character? I think the time has come that we need to have additional viewpoints on this commission, make sure it's broader in context, because Wildlife Conservation Board does tremendous work. John Donnelly, who's the director, does an excellent job. This is a commission that needs perhaps a little more public attention.
All right. Witnesses in support. Are you coming forward or going out? Come forward.
Good morning, members. Rico Mastrodonato with the Trust for Public Land. Just agree and support everything Senator Pavley said. Urge your aye vote. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Further support? Any opposition? Seeing none, comments or a motion from the, yes, Senator Jackson. Questions?
Yes, could you tell us what this board actually is responsible for, what it does?
Well, it's a broad thing. All those park bonds and things that we've passed, they are the people that award the grants to the conservancies or the state parks or the nonprofits everywhere. This commission has done reasonably good job on balancing different parts of the state. But I think they're a hidden secret, if you will. They've been critically important, whether it's Prop 1, park bonds, anything related to broader regional habitat preservation plans. They're out in the desert, they're in the forests, they're in coastal watersheds. They were critically important and part of the acquisition of Amundsen Ranch down in your neck of the woods. So really important, and I thought maybe it's two public members. So I'd be glad to bring this bill back to the committee when we, after further discussions, figure out if we're increasing the size of the commission, which I recommend. Should there be qualifications on those members that are participating? This isn't really a politically driven board, but it should be, I think, some additional viewpoints and substantively knowledgeable people on this commission could be very, very helpful.
This is the kind of transparency that I think is critically important. I assume that they have responsibility to distribute millions and millions of dollars.
Gazillions.
Gazillion, well.
It's sort of like
There's a word.
Like kerfuffle? Yeah, okay.
Senator Jackson, did you move that item?
I am going to move the bill.
All right, it's been moved by Senator Jackson. Would you like to close, madam?
Ask for your aye vote.
All right, the motion is due pass to appropriations. Please call the roll.
Senators Pavley?
Aye.
Pavley, aye. Stone? Allen? Allen, aye. Hertzberg? Hueso? Jackson? Jackson, aye. Monning? Vidak? Vidak, aye. Wolk?
Aye.
Wolk, aye. That has 5, but it'll be.
We have 5 votes. The roll will remain open. Item number 9, Senator Pavley, SB 1111.
1111. Okay, this bill also may be returning to this committee depending upon how it gets modified. Those of you know, after we had some of the challenges facing our state parks, potential closure, and then management issues and operational budget problems, et cetera, we've had to be more creative. There was a Parks Forward Commission appointed, amazing group of people came up with a series of recommendations. The department itself is coming forward with recommendations as well as public stakeholder groups. So right now, this bill, be frank with you, is a vehicle for additional reforms that could come to state parks. And one thing that is in the bill is that right now we're sort of arbitrarily limited to 20 sort of operating agreements with nonprofits. We're up to 12. We know we're going to exceed that amount. 20 was just, as I said, an arbitrary number. We will be either increasing that number or perhaps we don't need a limit on that because it's been working well. So our state parks are still not out of still are facing the challenges in hundreds of millions of dollars of deferred maintenance, coming up with creative 21st century approaches to accomplish their mission of preserving the landscapes, but also providing recreational opportunities for members of the public. Ask for your aye vote.
All right, thank you. Witnesses in support, please.
Good morning. Good morning again. Rico Mastrodonato with the Trust for Public Land. We understand this is a bill that's a work in progress, as Senator Pavley mentioned, and we look forward to working with her and her staff. The department has made great strides thanks to the work of the administration and the legislature, and this is just another step in that direction, so we fully support the bill.
Okay, thank you. In support, welcome.
Good morning. Tracy Verdo Torres, representing the California State Parks Foundation, also in strong support. And thank you, Senator Pavley, for your longstanding leadership on state parks issues. We, too, view this as a work in progress and look forward to working with the author. I did want to just note, though, removing the cap of the 20 parks is a significant piece in and of itself. There are 5 parks that are currently under nonprofit operation right now, 3 in Sonoma County, 1 in Marin County, 1 in Mendocino County. They are and have been under operation by nonprofits since 2012. So it is an interesting new model and new tool for the state to really look at co-management, where nonprofits can bring their best assets and skills and where the state can also bring its best assets and skills and work together. So thank you.
Thank you. Witnesses in support? Further witnesses? All right. Seeing none. Witnesses in opposition? No one's coming forward. Questions from the committee? I'd like to make one comment, Madam Chair. Working with, in my district, Jack London State Park is one of those that is extremely interested in not only this legislation, but in the future relationship with the parks and willingness to look at this as a more than a year-by-year approach, which would allow a certain amount of investment to come in from the outside, which would be desirable. So I know that you're just, at the moment, just removing the cap, but I'm hoping that if there is a willingness in the Resources Agency and the Parks Department to look at some broader creative responses to the ongoing concerns of parks, that you will look at those favorably.
Absolutely. And one of the things that's somewhat puzzled me is why we haven't been a little more proactive in accessing, for example, auction revenue dollars on energy efficiency in some of the existing buildings on state parks like Jack London and other facilities. Proposition 1 money relating to water quality, deferred maintenance of pipes and things like that, or that are potentially causing water to be polluted in campgrounds and runoff and things like that. So uniting state parks and all these other programs that are available, we haven't done enough to do that.
Right. So I'm hopeful that perhaps this year will be an opportunity to do that. So
is this a Runyon Canyon question?
No, I very much support this. I guess I just, ultimately, it's too bad that we, have to be looking in this direction. The federal government, which seems to have trouble financing, anything, these days, it has found a way to robustly fund its national park system, which is such a national treasure. And I feel the same way about our state park system. And, they're just having to kind of increasingly nickel and dime everybody and come up with all sorts of creative agreements to keep these state treasures running. And so I'm very supportive of this because I think it's a practical solution to a problem that we seem to have. But I just still kind of, when I look at our inability to properly fund the state parks, it just continues to gall me.
Yep.
Is that a motion? It's been moved by Senator Allen. It's due pass to appropriations. Unless there are further comments, please call the roll.
Senators Pavley.
Aye.
Pavley, aye. Stone. Allen. Allen, aye. Hertzberg. Hueso. Jackson. Jackson, aye. Monning. Vidak. Vidak, aye. Wolk.
Aye.
Wolk, aye. That has 5. It'll go on.
That has 5 votes. We'll leave the roll open.
And before we go on to the next one, I just want to say that during spring break, I spent 3 days at California's largest state park, which is Anza Borrego. Amazing, not only flora and fauna of desert landscapes, archaeological finds, but who knew it's a paleontology hotbed. Hundreds of volunteers. I watched people after they dug up a mammoth. All these prehistoric mammals are down there, I guess, under the ground, brushing away the jaws of a mammoth. And we have a state paleontologist. I didn't know that. And so that state park is a hidden resource, and it's larger than the size of Rhode Island. Bighorn sheep, you name it. So
Senator Pavley, Senator Lara is here, and he has an elephant outside. Would you like to see, please?
someone dressed as an elephant? Okay, let's have him come forward.